Hi, Connor Gunn here from Lethbridge News Now. Happy New Year and welcome to the Weekly from LNN, where we go over some of the biggest stories from this past week and what you can look forward to this weekend. Lethbridge is receiving its first doses of the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine, which is some of the first in the province. More shipments of both Pfizer and the Moderna vaccines will arrive early this month, which will focus on residents of long-term care and designated supportive living facilities. Following that, seniors aged 75 and over and First Nations on the reserve will be able to receive the shot. Premier Jason Kenney says by February he hopes to roll out all vaccines to people aged 75 or older in all parts of the province. 205 warnings, 130 tickets, and 8 charges have been given to travelers who have failed to comply with mandatory quarantine rules. Most people entering the country from abroad are required to quarantine for 14 days, which is the standard. Over 40,000 incidents have required law enforcement efforts to travelers, and federal officers want to remind Canadians that health and safety is their #1 priority. The Canadian government has confirmed cases of a new variant of COVID-19 in Ontario and BC. It's expected that other cases of this variant and potentially of the other variants may be found in the country. So far, there's been at least 2 people in Ontario who have it but not traveled internationally, while 1 in BC did not re-enter the country. The advice from medical officials remained the same: to avoid non-essential travel. Lethbridge Mayor Chris Spearman, Taber Mayor Andrew Prokop, and Coaldale Mayor Kim Craig have each weighed in on how the year has went for their community. Spearman says it's an understatement to say that it was a challenging year for Lethbridge, but some highlights include projects like Exhibition Park expansion, upgrades to Lethbridge Airport and downtown Festival Square Market Plaza, and several irrigation enhancements. Prokop believes some examples of bright spots for Taber were the grand openings of Trout Pond Campground, a new baseball diamond, and the new Emergency Services Building. Craig said 20 different projects for Coaldale were worth noting for the town, even through this pandemic. You can check out each of those year-end review stories at lethbridgenewsnow.com. Food prices are projected to rise 3 to 5% in 2021. The new Canada's Food Price Report says that for means a family of 4, you'll be paying around $700 more for the same grocery-bought items. Items seeing the biggest increases are meat, bakery, and vegetables. Starting today, Canada Pension Plan premiums are going up. The reason is largely because of the pandemic's effect on the labor market, with many people being unemployed. President of the Canadian Federation of Independent Business, Dan Kelly, thinks the bump is, quote, deeply unfair. In some fluffier news, Alberta's RCMP police dogs have had quite the noble year. This year, 18 teams of K-9 detectives were involved with 2,800 calls for service, sniffing out more than 900 criminals. While the pandemic presented some unique circumstances, they were kept busy with the high involvement in rural property crimes. The dogs also played roles in several cases involving firearms, violence, and missing people. Those are just a few of the stories we've been covering this week. To stay up to date on the latest local regional news, head over to lethbridgenewsnow.com or find us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. And if you have any stories or topics you'd like us to follow, send us a message. Thanks for watching. Tune in next Friday for another edition of The Weekly with me, Connor Gunn. Have a great weekend and a Happy New Year.